Hi, everybody. Welcome to Circle versus Lines. Iron sharpens iron. I just wanted to make a quick video, and it just came to me. I'm like wondering, where did feminism came from? It couldn't have just came from Gloria Allred, a CIA agent who wanted to corrupt the black family and keep the father out of the family to destroy it. Sure, that was part of it, but I think that it was deeper than that. And sometimes I think about it could have been Eve that did it in the Garden of Eden. She was the first feminist, and why feminists hold her to ideal. Not Eve, Lilith, Adam's first wife that he divorced. Of course, this is not a real person that they made it up, and then Lilith refused to submit to Adam, and then she left the Garden of Eden, and Satan went up to her and everything, and then they became a couple. As disgusting and demonic as that, feminists hold that to their ideal, that Lilith is their god. She's the ideal feminist. But yeah, I think that's part of it. But I think it's more from like colonialism that, the white man was a brutal oppressor to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But a few videos I've seen, the white woman was even worse because, Lilith, make believe Lilith, she wanted to break away from Adam. The white woman wanted to break away from the white man, and become her own master. So she would accumulate her own amount of slaves. And at that time, owning slaves was a position of status, and the white woman was incredibly brutal and incredibly profane. She would, have sex with the male slaves and abuse them, and then she would pass them down to her children to abuse them. So it's almost like a perpetual thing going on, and when a woman left, like let's say a white man, and divorced him or whatever, she would take her slaves with her, and she would do the same thing over and over, and basically act like the white man. She was becoming a man. So this idea that later down the years in the 70s and the sexual revolution and things like that, abortion, the white woman was always in competition with the white man to be her own master. So they pushed this idea of feminism to people of color. Even though this is the agenda that they wanted, they pushed it on to other women of different ethnicities to give it some kind of legitimacy that this was viable and this is the right thing to do. But in actuality, it was for them to develop their own power and to exercise their hatred of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They don't really care about people of different ethnicities or anything like that. This is why they put abortion clinics in our neighborhoods. They don't put it in their neighborhoods. They put it in our neighborhoods. And this is all a ruse to just gain power, to compete with the oppressive slave owner white man. So she can become her own slave owner and oppressor and everything. They don't care about, women's empowerment or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You encouraging women to commit debauchery and all kinds of profane things like OnlyFans and killing their children and transgenderism, homosexuality, pedophilia, everything that you could possibly think of that's anti-family, anti-God, and things like that. It has nothing to do with I'm doing something for women to be better in the home or anything like that for her family. No, it's more like it's being more for to switch roles with the white colonizer man. They don't want him to hog up all the power and wealth and abuse or anything like that. They want to get their hands dirty and bloodied up like him and get as much as humanly possible. That's the only reason. They don't care about empowerment or anything like that. They doing it intentionally so they could be like the white man, to be an oppressor herself, like a man. They don't really care about any legitimacy and benefits for women or anything like that, especially women of color or anything like that. It's all a ruse. And in fact, I believe that the white woman is more jealous of women of color. They want to destroy their families. They actually want the black, Hispanic, and Native American man for themselves. This is why they insisted on raping the male slaves when they wanted, and sometimes even the children. And I feel like this is where feminism comes from. They could say all kinds of things and lies and say, yeah, this is for women and all that, but it's really a scam, a con from the white woman and the white man, who's behind the scenes perhaps, but more importantly from the white woman who wants to be her own man or her own oppressor, her own master, her own master of wealth and everything like that. That's it. It has nothing to do with women. It has nothing to do with society. It has nothing to do with women's rights or anything like that. Nothing. Because it just transcends down the line that everything that happened before doesn't even make sense. You teaching women to become men, to kill their children, and to break up families. That has nothing to do with women's empowerment. Nothing. It looks more, and when you look at it throughout history, that they encourage women to leave their families and destroy it and keep the father out, right? Who that happened to? Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They never told the white man, yeah, you gotta the white or their fellow white woman. I'm sorry, that oh yeah, you gotta leave your husband and break up your family. And for women's empowerment. No, they only tell women of color to do that. And as an incentive, they give them welfare and benefits and things like that. Their version of destroying and breaking families is getting their white husbands assets and things like that, to accumulate large amounts of wealth so they could be a man themselves. Divorcing a man and taking half his wealth that he took, half his life to build doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And this is encouraged by them to do that. So each demographic group has their own incentive to destroy their families in one way or another. And since white women are occupying more white collar jobs in high places of status in political office and city council and things like that. They can push these agendas forward. You can see sometimes when parents complain to council members, the majority of them are white women. And they complain to them, hey, you got books in the library about, kids having sex with each other. And they don't care because they're extremely profane, like their male counterparts. They're profane, like the Bible says. There's no one more profane than Esau. And they push this. They it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They hide it behind the scenes and make it seem, oh, it's women's empowerment and everything. No, it's the destruction of piggybacking on the backs of ethnic minorities to push your agenda forward. So once it's complete, you're gonna abandon those people. You're not gonna bring them forward with you. You're just gonna, it would look, too obvious if only white women were into feminism and destroying their families and their men and things like that. It would be too obvious. So they got to recruit people, poor people, to jump onto this, this ideology. At the same time, killing them and their babies by putting, Planned Parenthood in their neighborhoods and killing them and telling them that they could be, bad bitches and independent and boss bitches and all that, and be their own man, that they don't need no man, they're independent. This is all ideas that's coming from them to destroy the family, because in the past, blacks, Hispanics never thought like this. This was an idea that was put into them by the white hierarchy, the white woman. So if you want to know where feminism came from, I think it came from there. I could be wrong, but I gave it a lot of thought, and it seems to add up pretty good. And I just wanted to give you that quick thought, and you let me know how you think about it. Thanks a lot. Bye.